Come, let us explore why emotions aren't real. Meditation proves it. Together, this morning's opening lesson comes from the 18th passage of the Ati-yoga Shastra, Vast Expanse of the Diamond-like Mind, written by Prahivajra many centuries ago. Together, now this root text and commentary is available for free download. Together, let us relaxingly recite the rather opaque root text, followed by its explanation. The equality, that is freedom from the tyranny of dualistic thought, is like the Dharmakaya, non-graspable as the moon's reflection on water. Awareness is all good, Samantabandara-like energy manifestations, or as profoundly displayed as the vowels and consonants of speech, resounding yet void. We are told by many, most of whom mean well, that there are good and bad, sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, and scents, as well as emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. However, the Buddha taught that although such thinking might help us to merely survive, it could not do a very good job of helping us to thrive and lead a life truly meaningful and fulfilling. To do that, he taught, one must transcend that duality of good and bad, and instead view all sights as just sights, all sounds as just sounds, all sensations as just sensations, all flavors as just flavors, all sense as just sense. As well as all emotions as just emotions, all intentions as just intentions, all thoughts as just thoughts, all memories as just memories, and all imaginings as just imaginings. The equality that is freedom from the tyranny of dualistic thought. We each have an autonomic nervous system. And when we cooperate with it, we're able to transcend that duality. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever duality we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of non-dual equality. At first, it could feel rather overwhelming. So it could be helpful to remember that mindfulness is most empowered when it is practiced vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. This, of course, invites the question, how are we to do this? The easiest way to passively cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this each time we feel breath enter our nostrils. Similarly, the easiest way to placidly cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease each time we feel breath exit our nostrils. Play with this for as little as 45 minutes every 12 hours or so, and in as little as 7 days. You could find that you've mastered mindfulness and meditation. all mastery means is that you've gotten so comfortable with something that you practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. This is known by many names such as Buddhahood or Dharmakaya, which is body of truth in Sanskrit. The latter is simply a metaphor for the mastery of letting go during our exhalation, as if that which we had noticed during our previous inhalation was as non-graspable as the moon's reflection upon water. It is like the Dharmakaya, non-graspable as the moon's reflection on water. As we placidly relax into our exhalations, all that we passively noticed during our previous inhalations could feel less like good or bad perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, as well as imaginings, and more like variations of energy ranging from the dynamic to the peaceful, but each of them as good as the archetype of enlightenment known as the All-Good One in English, Samantabhadra in Sanskrit, and Kuntu Zongpo in Tibetan. Awareness's all-good, Samantabhadra-like energy manifestations. Vowels and consonants combine in so many ways as to fill book after book, vast warehouses of tomes with more and more added every day. A great resounding cacophony if read aloud. Similarly, as we relax into our nostrils out-breath, all the infinite variety of phenomena we could have noticed during our previous in-breath could feel as resounding yet non-graspable as the temporary ring of a bell. Neither good nor bad, just delightfully non-dual. Or as profoundly displayed as the vowels and consonants of speech, resounding yet void. And so we see that traversing the Buddha's path is as easy as cooperating with our autonomic nervous system. The equality that is freedom from the tyranny of dualistic thought is like the Dharmakaya, non-graspable as the moon's reflection on water. Awareness is all good, Samantabhadra-like energy manifestations, or as profoundly displayed as the vowels and consonants of speech, resounding yet void. We're now going to continue with this. Like the and the beautiful ta, the pa, and the emanated branches of Anu Yoga's intoning of the Bija seed mantras. In the sphere of experience of the whole world, even the profound voice of the Buddha arises just as resounding yet void. Again, we're going to move from the opaque root text to hopefully its more lucid explanation or commentary. Those caught in the thrall of Yang's religious patriarchy dualistically interpret communication, insisting that multisyllabic mantras of ritualistic Mahayoga and the seed-like single syllables of sensual Anu Yoga are far superior to the so-called common speech, like the the beautiful ta, the pa, and the emanated branches of Anu Yoga's intoning of the Bija seed mantras. Yet, even though a world filled with common folk or even Buddhas, each intoning mantras and spiritual teachings, could produce a thunderous sound that could ring our ears, yet as we relax into our exhalation, that too could feel as resounding yet as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. In the sphere of in the sphere of experience of the whole world, even the profound voice of the Buddha arises just as resounding, yet void. And so, as we relax into our exhalation, whatever infinite diversity of sounds that we could notice during our previous inhalation could, like the ring of a bell, sound resounding, yet void. Like the ah and the beautiful ta, the pa and the emanated branches of Vana Yoga's intoning of the Bija seed mantras. In the sphere of experience of the whole world, even the profound voice of the Buddha arises, just as resounding, yet void. Come, let us harmonize with the natural mindfulness and meditation that are our birthright. I want to make sure this is coordinated. Okay. Having completed our opening lesson, it's time for us to now shift gears. It is Ahsoka Tano Thursday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interest as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, let's play with the latest iteration of very easy meditation. Practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. And so we have a choice with every breath. Are we going to passively cooperate with our Buddha nature? Or are we going to actively compete against it? How do we do this? How do we compete against it? Simple. When we over rely on our medial prefrontal cortex to actively focus and over rely upon our dorsolateral prefrontal cortex to over analyze, we exhaust the front part of our brain, increasing the probability of us presenting with the symptoms of depression, as well as triggering our amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. You see, focus and analysis are great for a sprint, but terrible for a marathon. So then, what are we to do? So let me rephrase that. Fortunately, neither the amygdala nor the prefrontal cortex constitute the entirety of our central nervous system. Case in point. Every time we inhale, we are wired to automatically access the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. Not to pick and choose, but to be completely vulnerable to all manner of phenomena, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. Every time we exhale, similarly, we are wired to automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, divided between the lower third and the upper third of that same spinal cord. Our parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both the physical relaxation and mental release that cause that which we noticed during our previous inhalation to fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and less defining, at least into our next inhalation when the cycle begins anew. By cooperating with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, the anxiety and aggression of our amygdala are calmed, and our anterior cingulate gyrus is stimulated, for it functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which is the root of both compassion and love. How then are we to passively cooperate with our sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nervous systems? Totally easy. All we gotta do is silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, as well as silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. So let us sit as sustainably as we can and practice. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window. For I tend to check for questions about once every 13 minutes or so. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about once every 13 minutes or so. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class as well as group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.